Greetings, gamers. In today's educational commentary, I will be playing EZREAL Yuumi versus Sivir Sona. If you guys are not familiar with me, my name is Midorima, and I will be doing the commentary on this Saskio ADC, or this general ADC channel. Okay, let's talk about our runes first. We're going to be going Lethal Tempo as this is Ezreal's new favorite rune. It is really good for long fights, which is going to happen between Sona and Yuumi bot lane. We're going Presence of Mind for the mana regen. Legend Haste for the ability haste, obviously, and Cut Down because we are going to be using a lot of distance to proc our damage, and so we're going to be the first line of hitting. We're going to be going Jack of all trades, as this is going to be very easy for us to get with Tier and a Sheen, and Biscuit Delivery because we are playing a double range bot lane. So let's talk about the win conditions of this lane. Win condition of this lane is try to get as much early lead as possible, as the later the game goes, the less favorable it becomes for us. So, Sivir started her W. Once her W runs out, I'm actually going to look to fight here. Ooh, I couldn't get that auto off. That's okay. Yuumi picks up the kill. I think that she can actually get out here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's a double kill. That's unfortunate. Oh, so nice a flash. Okay, the reason why I went for that fight there is because we have triple combat stuns with barrier, exhaust, and heal over them just having two. Unfortunately, we could not get that last Q onto the Sivir. She played behind her Sona pretty well. I tried looking for any flash angle possible, but we just couldn't get it. On the plus side though, our wave is really, really good. We're going to hit level 2 before the Sivir, and we're going to see if we can try to leverage that advantage into the lane. So, Sona also base later, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to clear this wave a little bit quicker than normal. Okay. It appears that Yuumi really wants to play the push, rather than... Okay. Sivir is trying a little bit too hard. Yuumi's playing extremely safe, but I want to play very aggressive here, because I know Sona won't be back in time during a good portion of that fight, and I will take advantage of that. Even though I'm fighting in the wave, I'm going to be positioning and walking to a place where I'm not going to be fighting in the wave and slowly dropping aggro midway through the fight, which is what I ended up doing there. I do want to hold this freeze, though, as best as I can. And so I'm going to try to drag this out. It's going to become a slow push, unfortunately. Yuumi didn't drag it out far enough. It's alright, though. So from here, my conditions are pretty bad, actually. I do want to look for a base soon. I think my Rek'Sai can look for a gank here. Alright. Sona used her abilities. Let's look for Sona here. Let's play the Vision. Get a nice QW off. And then we're going to hide in that bush. That's pretty good for us. Try to get these minion aggro off Rek'Sai. Unfortunately, it didn't work. That bush is indeed warded. Oh, Yuumi just gave my jungler the cannon. All good. Alright, and then we're going to take our base here. So overall, this is what we have to do when you play Ezreal into double scaling, is you want to take advantage of Ezreal's extremely, extremely strong early game. And the way we do that is just by using our Q on the wave, not trying to hit the enemy champions. We actually want to hit the wave. And then when we have 2 to 3 stacks on, that is a lot of attack speed that we were just given for free early, as each stack gives 10%. So at 2 stacks, 20. 3 stacks, 30%. And so from there, alongside Lethal Tempo, we're just keep on stacking that up, and our auto attacks are going to go off like a rapid fire. Okay, we see Sona mid, so we're going to try to position in this bush slightly cheesy-like. We're going to miss out on a few CS. Maybe that melee goes down as well. Melee went down. Try to go here. Nice. Got a good little chunk off. Dodged the boomerang on the way back. And here, because we're playing versus Sona, Sona's going to try to heal my damage up over time. And so what we want to do is we want to keep on pressing the gas pedal here. Oh, enemy jungler is here. Make sure we don't press too hard, though. Let's walk in this bush, place a ward here. And Kane's going to try to get some poke damage off on us here. We're going to trade back a nice little Q and an auto. Ooh. Nice.
An enemy has been slain.
Here we can land a Q on here. Press E here. EQ auto easy. Now you're probably going to be wondering why I didn't just instantly press Q when the W landed, even though Sona's running a straight line. And the reason for that is she's going to try to look for my Q to dodge, and if she dodges, it's going to be pretty hard for me. But if I wait for my E to come off cooldown, my E can proc my W, and that's going to be more ensured damage, as the moment that she realizes that the E is going to be shifting forward, she has less room to dodge, as the skill shot for my Q is going to come out faster and closer to her, and so she has less room. It's stuff like that, all the small stuff, that adds up over time and leads to a winning game state. Here I'm going to pop my pot as I'm going to base, just in case they try to stop my base. If they do stop it, I'm going to look to try it all in here. Okay, they let us get a base off. That's pretty good. I need about, 10 seconds to get my item. This isn't going to be a cannon wave, so we might miss some CS here. That's going to be unfortunate, but we have to take the losses where they are. And we're going to instantly go back into bot lane. So, what are we talking about for builds? For builds, we're going to be going Trinity Force Rush into Man Immune, and from there, we're going to play situationally. If they build a lot of armor, then that's fine. We can just go Cerilda's. If not, we can go, if they have a lot of burst, we'll go another tier item, which they have in a Colleen and Kayn. Otherwise, we can go healing if they have a lot of poke, which they don't. That would have resulted in go Endless Hunger. Okay, we see that Sona's mid, and so normally I would slow push here, but because Sona has shown herself mid, I can do one of two things. I can either shove this wave hard, and from there, I can either poke the Sivir under turret, or I can try to cut Sona off the moment she tries to come back in the lane. So here, Sivir's going to play pretty scared. Land a nice little Q on her. Oh, try to look for another Q. Can't get that. And the minions are blocking the way now. Dodge that. Sona's walking up fairly confidently, and I'm not really a fan of that. I don't know where Kayn is, so I can't aggress too heavily. Ooh, that is unfortunate.
Shut down.
I try to look for the R flash onto the Sona to reposition it and get maybe a triple kill or a double kill there on the way out, but it didn't really work out that way. The reason why I don't try to E-flash out there is because Kayn, if he lands a single speck of damage on us with his Q or he can flash auto, he is going to end up just pressing R, and it's going to be really hard for us to live that. And so I try to look for, the money play, which is try to fight our way out. If we end up one-shotting Sona, what ends up happening is we get a lot of mana back from Presence of Mind, and then we can keep on fighting the Sivir, who's relatively weak. We kill her, and then we can space out the Kayn. But, sometimes things don't work out. I personally think it's better to look for those kind of big decision plays rather than, keep it safe. Because look at the game state right now. The game state right now is pretty even. Obviously, it's 2 deaths that added on to make it a 4-6. But prior to that, we want to break open the game and control how the game state is going for us. Well, instance of Kayn going in here. We're going to try to play this back as much as we can. We're getting flashed on. They're using everything. Kayn is now overstepping into our turret, and so this is going to turn into a kill on him, so we trade 1 for 1. He is really desperate on getting us there. That was very interesting. I cannot lie to you. And so they use a lot of flashes there. So let's ping a lot of the flashes that they used. Now, that's a really good tip that whenever you die, always look at your death recap and ping all the summoners that you immediately see on that board, as that lets your team accurately track CD timers, and flash timers are very, very important for your team to know. Alright. We are now back to even from when we were really, really ahead. Kayn decided to basically just full-on camp out bot lane. I don't really know what we can really do to get back from here, but I think the best choice of action right now is just to freeze this lane. And so, because their enemy walling needs to base and the wave is in a good spot, we're just going to choose to freeze, let our Yuumi base, and there's nothing for us to really, aggress towards. So, we have to adapt to the playstyle of what the enemy team is doing. We now know that Kayn is just completely just camping bot lane, and so what we need to do now is play a lot safer than we were before. Because he is level 6, he's now trying to be very active. He also has Form, very active on the map. And so if that is what he chooses to do, then we have to deal with it and just play around his timers. He can't always be bot. I hate when laners always say like, oh, this jungler's camping me, I can't play the game. It's like, no, you can't. You just have to play on specific timers where you know that the enemy jungler is pathing to a different side for him to farm. He can't just live on 3 camps forever. That's just not how jungle works. He will fall too far behind if he does that. Alright, the Sivir wants this minion. I don't really want to give it to her. Oh, is Kayn behind us? Kayn is indeed behind us. Let's just play back a little bit. We're going to take a little base here. I think Rek'Sai should be here to block off this dive if they do indeed go to look for it. They know that Rek'Sai is here. I'm going to base. I basically have my Triforce now, and so I'm very, very bad. Sivir is going to press W in this wave, but she's going to cancel my base anyways, and so I'm just going to let this wave crash in. I'm going to catch the wave just like she is. You mean Mr. Q. Let's see, quick shove this wave. We know that Kayn is indeed bottom side. And so I'm going to try to actually base here while I have the chance. I really want to get my Trinity Force before the next fight happens. We see that Akali has gone top side. That's not good. My Vayne's probably dead. Oh, he trades for 1. And he gets to get over to Garen. That's pretty good. Akali roam top lane for nothing. Kayn just catches the mid wave. And we're going to try to roam to this dragon here to help out our Rek'Sai. Yeah. We're coming. Alright. This objective should be ours at this point. I'm going to try to aggress on this zone as best as I can while Kayn's not here to guard them. Kayn, in theory, should be going topside here because they know that we just took dragon. And so Kayn wants to do grubs, I believe, just trade objectives on the map. But in case he isn't, I'm going to go look toward this tri-bush. Nice. Nice little Q land by Yuumi. I missed my Q. I'm going to walk in this bush and just aim my ulti straight down the middle. That's a good chunk.
An ally has been slain.
Press my Q on that minion to keep my stacks up. I don't want to let Sona just get free poke on me. So they're basically shoved out here. Kayn can still look for a gank down here. But because top lane is pushing just as hard as I am... Oh, we see Kayn. We're going to run away now.
Rampage.
There's a ward in this bush. So Kayn is really just actively looking to hunt us down here bot lane. He does not care about what ends up happening top lane, which, you know, is fair. It's Vayne versus Garen. It doesn't really ever get easier for the Garen no matter how many ganks you give him. Their bot lane is just hurting for mana, and Sona's hurting for HP. And so rather than just playing the standard slow push, I'm always going to fast push these waves, and I'm going to try to poke them under turret just to get Kayn's attention. Land poke here, land poke there. Land poke here, land poke there. And again, we're going to keep on constantly pressuring them. I don't want to let Sona base, so I'm actually going to take a turret shot here, if we can. Nope, next wave is here. So we're just going to make them miss a minion wave instead. That's going to be our goal here. Make them miss a cannon, and maybe take another plate. Rek'Sai comes down here, he wants to look to dive. I'm very skeptical of this, because during this timer, Kayn can look to just come bot lane and counter dive this. Oh, Rek'Sai just wants his turret. I'll take that as well. That also helped. And, oh, Kayn is shown topside, so I do want to shove in this next wave here. Let's see. Okay, there are 2 really strong spikes for EZREAL, or 3 rather. The first spike is Tear and Sheen. The second spike is Trinity Force completion, and the third spike is when we finish our mana immune. And so we're reaching that third spike right now, and from there, the game for EZREAL actually gets a lot harder over time. And so at this point, like, the moment you finish your Tear and Sheen, you constantly want to be fighting, constantly looking for aggressive plays, as you saw that I did throughout this game. And now that I have Triforce, I kept on doing so. Because of that, we are up around 40 CS, 30 to 40 CS on this Sivir. Sivir just camping bot lane. I'm going to try to get vision on this bottom side jungle here. Let's try to get some vision here. Wow, there's actually a ward here. That is crazy. I don't want to press E here because I know that the enemy team is indeed going to come for us when we look for the fights. And so rather than Eing in like a wild animal, I am going to make sure that I am playing safe. Unfortunately, however, this signals to Vayne that she should take my wave, which I don't really want to let her. Yeah, she just came mid for reasons that I don't know, and I collected almost every single minion there, so that's pretty good. Alright, we're going to be hovering towards this bottom side of the map, and I don't want to play too aggressive here, as Kayn is indeed on the Raptor camp, and the next objective is Dragon. If anyone dies on either team before this Dragon, that team gets control of the pit, and that is really, really bad for, well, whoever is trying to contest with that demon, you know? Whenever your Yuumi wants to go ward, it's good whenever she hops out to try and be in proximity for her to jump back in case someone tries to jump her from where she's trying to ward. Okay. Let's see. 30 seconds until dragon spawns. I don't really want to walk up that far to contest. Oh, our mid lane's dead too. This is about to be a very, very messy turn of events. We want to look at the Sivir, it appears. I don't think anything's going to happen here, so instead I'm going to look to shove in mid wave. Miss 2 CS while doing so. We did get the dragon, and so now we're just trying to play out. Just gonna constantly keep trying to fire Qs and kite out of the fights. I have to wait for my next phase to be extremely strong, because my next spike is indeed the man immune, and so being this aggressive is gonna harm me if the enemy team tries to capitalize on it. Alright, nice. We shove in this wave, it's time to base, and get our man immune. Oh, we don't have it yet. Just kidding. We need one more wave. I can ward this. That objective's up. Sivir's still trying to play aggressive. I mean, she still has backup. This entire game, Sivir's played pretty afraid of us. And so, whenever she starts playing aggressive, something's gotta be up, you know? Alright, now we have 1450. Now we have man immune. Let's go collect this. Let's go collect the red buff and look for the next big fight. This fight, or this game, is not getting easier for us now that their two assassins are fed. And our Vayne is actually getting pretty behind after lane phase. And so, what I want to do is get this red buff, like I said. Push in mid wave and need to look for a fight on mid, or look for a fight on bottom side, as that seems to be where our team is overloading on.
An enemy has been slain.
That's a pretty good pick. Let's hope no one dies for it. Someone has died for it. Let's see. Shove this in. Because Sivir doesn't have spell shield and she's not walking up, it means that no one's here for her. And so I'm going to shove in these next few waves. Oh, I messed that up. Can't land another Q there. This game is getting a little bit difficult for us to take control of, as their enemy team is doing a really, really well avoiding us on the map. And so it's hard for us to get anything done. The best thing we can really do is just push in mid waves consistently, have more priority over the Sivir. Oh, I missed cannon there. and just look for constant plays. Okay, we got a nice little blue buff here. Let's look at the team and let's see what we want to build. So he's getting armor, and that's the only person that's getting armor. And so we need a way to stop the Sony healing. No one on my team is building it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a more reminder for my team. That is the best thing that I can do for my teammates here in this game. Make sure that I am denying Vayne every single CS that is on my screen, because this is my CS, not hers. We saw someone just the top side of us. Next wave is coming in. Here comes the enemy Kayn. Oh my god, they are just completely sprinting out of mid. I think we should get this Nasus here. Oh, my Vayne is playing this very bad. Okay, Kayn's in the Herald. Oh, Kayn messed up. Silver's in the Herald. Silver should die here to our team. Oh, I guess not. I think she's going to get bailed out by the Sona. Oh, no, Vayne's still on the hunt. Alright, overall, not a terrible sequence, I guess. It's getting pretty hard for us to play the game as, you know, the two assassins plus a Garen who wants to flash on us have every, like, right in the game to just run us down. And our job as AD carry this game is to carry through being bait. The number one thing about playing EZREAL is you have an E that lets you reposition fairly frequently throughout team fights as long as you land your Q. And so what I'm going to do, instead of Eing forward sometimes, because our team doesn't need a bait. They're hungry. They're thirsty on the enemy team. They don't need a bait. Any ounce of blood that they smell, they're going to completely take it and run with it. And so what we need to do is we need to outposition them by Eing outwards and into different odd angles to where it makes it hard for them to either kill us or for us to bait them in and kill them when they go in. Get a nice little bit of poke there. Get poke there.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I dodged the damage there. I'm trying to come back into this fight.
Has been slain. Enemy killing spree. You have slain an enemy. Double
Oh, she's one hit. Please, Yumi.
enemy double.
Oh my god, she actually kills us all there. Oh, that's so sad. We almost outplayed that. Now, the way I can best explain how I played that fight is I was playing extremely slow. We saw that every single time that we walked forward, Kayn tried to lunge an ability on us. And so for us to counteract that is we just got to keep on pressuring backwards. And when Kayn doesn't use his W on my teammates and uses it on me and I'm dodging it, that's one less damage proc that my teammates can avoid. Here, I think that my Rek'Sai is going to tunnel on getting this Dragon Soul for us, which is pretty good. I think he might be able to kill this Akali, actually. Oh, he doesn't have ult, so he actually can't kill the Akali. Let's try to see if we can help him out. We're going to run down here. See if we can help this guy out. Well, it appears we're still playing a fight here. I'm going to pick up this Yumi, just do a little backstep. Here we see the Akali. I need to play safe because Kayn's going to pop out. Pick out the Sivir that's out of position here. My team is pretty low now. Playing these fights is extremely risky. As, you know, any misstep from us, any misplay, any like bad E results in us dying. And so I really don't want that to happen. I need to take my jungler's camps while he's down because I really need to get an influx of gold inside of me. The more money I have, the more control of the game that I can, well, have, just straight up. Let's see. Nice.
Double
That is extremely well played by us. We got a nice little bait off. Like I said, Eing in, very bad idea. Eing out, very, very good idea. So here, now that their jungler and their mid's gone, we are going to just straight up go to Baron here, and this should be a good play for us. I'm going to be positioning on this side of the Baron, because if the enemy team decides to try to, you know, walk in, me and my red buff, we can basically poke them out and basically turn to catch. Okay, because Garen forced a TP, we're actually going to position out here. Focus the Garen here. And then auto attack this Sivir down. Nice. From here, I'm going to walk towards mid, push this out with my Vayne, otherwise she's going to die alone. Normally, I'd want to go to a top wave here, but because the assassin is off on the enemy team, I need to make sure that I am playing with her. Okay? We see that now Vayne is not playing to what we want to do. She's actually leaving us, funny enough. So, one person understands the game, the other person doesn't really understand. And so my goal here is just to make sure that I'm avoiding Sakali at all costs. She tried to use the E with the gunblade to snipe me out, but we avoided that. Okay. When we are playing Mortal Reminder EZREAL, the next item that you buy has to be a CDR item. Because 90% of the time, when you are playing EZREAL, your third item after your Mana Mute is a CDR item. It's either, you know, Spear of Shojin, Endless Hunger, which gives CDR, or, you know, a Archangel Staff, which gives CDR. Even Serylda's CDR. Because I went Mortal Reminder and there's absolutely no CDR in it, I need to go an item that builds into CDR, which, you know, Spear Shojin gives a lot of ability haste, which we really much enjoy, and it buffs our abilities as well. Because EZREAL doesn't use crit all that well, having that bonus ability damage is very, very helpful to make up for that. Once again, I want to play towards a very, very safe part of my team. I do not want to E in. I want to make sure that I'm Eing out, unless we see Kayn go in and use his abilities like that. Okay, we still need to find the Kayn again. Let's make sure that we are playing safe. This is a very, very odd situation to be in. Nice, we sniped out Yusona. Kayn's on the bottom side here. I'm trying to look for a pick here. Our team has completely left us alone, and so Akali gets a free pick on us. I tried to E the other way and avoid it, but nothing that we can do. The best thing about that, though, is because Akali is completely dead set on trying to kill us, we end up killing their team on the backline with Nasus. And, you know, we saw it at a good amount of time. I think Akali might end up dying here, too. Oh, Garen showed up, and now my Rek'Sai's dead. That's pretty unfortunate. But I think the game is not over because of that. That's pretty unfortunate. We now have to prep for playing this Elder flip. And, yeah, that's not good for us. And the reason for that is because Elder is going to come up very, very soon. In a minute. I want to get my Spear Shojin. This is like the one item I extremely very much need. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ult straight down mid. Hopefully I kill like a melee minion or two. Let's watch it. There's two melees that are really, really low. Come on, give me one of them. Perfect. Because I use my ulti there, I get my Spear Shojin and I can be on the map to pressure the game. And stuff like that you need to look out for throughout a game is trying to find these, you know, these unique angles that your champion can provide for you to give you advantages whenever you see fit. Every game is different. No two games are the same. And so you need to know what your champion can bring to the table every single time in order to give you the best ability, the best chance to win. Over here, Akali is going in here. I have to play this over to the left side, making sure that I'm not the one walking into danger. Be away from this Garen. Nice, pick off the Akali. When you're playing versus an Akali, something you can always do is constantly spam your A-click or whatever you use to attack and just spam it on the ground. As the moment that Akali will surface up, your next auto will instantly trace her. We want to stop damage here because this is going to be a flip. I'm actually going to flash in here. Let's look for the Garen with that bit of damage. Oh, this is annoying.
Enemy has been slain.
Nice, we got Elder. That's pretty good. Let's see where we can go from here. Honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen on this map, but it does seem like Kayn wants to farm his top side. While the enemy team is still respawning and there's still segments of vision that they don't have, I'm going to try to chase this Kayn down. And he's actually going to give this Gromp because we declare it so. And we have to be very, very safe, trying to make sure that we don't die to the call here. We are split from our 2 carries that can actually keep us alive. That's not the greatest.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I E in there because I see that Akali is bottom side. And so I want to split the map and take this turret here while Kayn... Oh, I'm so sad. I'm so blind. It appears that our team is playing pretty well without us because we have the Elder.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Let's see, the game should end here. We just want to get a little bit of poke onto this Kayn. Nice, we got the Kayn dead. Alright, very good. We ended the game with that. That one play that we did on that top side where we went for red buff and we made sure we swept all the vision, or we, used our blue trinket, won the game. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy this commentary on EZREAL.